For years, we've been trying to establish quality depth, that the first guy and the second or third guy, that gap was as minute as possible. I think that we've closed that gap and we're able to rotate guys and keep them fresh and play quality snaps when you're in there, because you don't have to play the entire game. That when you're in there, you go give it your all, knowing that there's ample backup behind you that'll fulfill that position and the expectation of that position group. We did just really a tenacity to be hungry, to go after the offensive players, to go after the football. Probably what we share with the team, the play of the game was probably an unassuming fumble recovery, but it depicts our team. The ball hit the ground and DQ Henry knifes down forward. Kevin Strong sheds a blocker and go down forward. And when it's all said and done, and meanwhile, Darryl Godfrey's coming off the edge and he knocks the quarterback off the ball. And you see what a drill we call dog pile, which is an eagerness to go compete for the ball. And you frame it, and there's 10 of our players on the ground competing for the ball. And it's 8 of our opponent players standing, looking, pointing in the direction or observing. And it was the ultimate team unit play that exemplified our style of play and what we seek to desire, and that is total team effort from our team. No, we don't have a playbook issue. We have a production issue. You know, if we're running plays and nobody's open and nobody's blocked, it's one thing. But we have plays and we have schematic advantages at times, but it all fails in comparison to execution. Execution trumps all. You have to execute the play, and so we'll continue to work our plays, and from an execution standpoint, refine those things that we're able to have production out of the play. Well, Cordell is our starting quarterback. He'll go into the game. We'll continue to develop that room as a whole, and we'll do everything in our power to get the maximum production out of that room, whatever it may be. I thought they did well. I thought Josh Dunlop lined up at right tackle and did a really good job. Jordan Wright continues to work himself into playing shape, after being out for extensive time. But I thought he did a good job, and I thought Jordan did a good job as well. Kevin Davis got nicked at one point, and he probably did not have his best game because of it. But collectively, I thought the offensive line did a decent job. We are adjusting. There's no such thing as us not adjusting. We see the things that are going. It's production. You know, we're trying to win a game. We're not trying to win the third quarter. I mean, we could harp on this third quarter deal, and of course we want to score in every quarter. But it's about winning a game, and that's what we're doing from the beginning until the end. He bounced back, and he's a warrior. He doesn't see himself just as a punter. He sees himself as a football player, and he's been productive for us for the last 3 years, and we're pleased and very fortunate to have him. I thought we had played well enough to be in position to do it. And kind of when I talked about the little scat back got loose on us in the fourth quarter and had some big runs, and us not take advantage of some opportunities we had down in the red zone. We were a huge field goal team a year ago in the red zone. That has changed. We've scored more touchdowns than not in the red zone. We're better. We're more efficient in that area of the field, where a year ago we were not, and it came back to haunt us in that game. Our lack of production in the red zone is what I remember most. They had their back was down, and Cam, a guy who played tight end for him a year ago, lined up at tailback. So their run game was hindered in a sense, and then a couple other guys that were nicked up. But for the most part, their team was there, and from what I can see by way of cut-ups, UAB just played really well.
Fourth quarter, they got out.
Yeah, I mean, they took the lead 7-0 in the first quarter, and not much happened second and third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, UAB kind of exploded. I think when we win, it'll be a rivalry. It's a team that we desire to compete well against and try to claim a victory against. They're the one team in the West that we haven't defeated yet in my time. There's no Jalen is the starter. He takes to the field. BJ will play in every game, and based on who's hot, who's playing well, who's making those decisive cuts, we'll probably get a lion's share of it, with the other complementing one another. I think so. I think it's a position where you get knocked around, and so your health matters there. They both have been banged up some. But in reality, we just have not done a very good job of rushing the ball as a whole. Right after the game, it's interesting, JJ, you asked that. One of the players said, "Okay, Coach, we're getting ready for next week. You know who's coming to town?" And in my mind, I said, "No, who we play next week?" Really, and not sarcastically, because it takes so much to garner a victory. And so 2-0 is a beautiful thing. But right now, I have to do my very best to recant Saturday to think about that game, because all my mind, all my effort is on La Tech. And so even we're sitting here, we're talking, all right, what happened? Because it's behind us. And Louisiana Tech is given undivided attention right now. Has to prepare properly, to give this team a game plan and directions of how we need to attack this team.